Welcome back. Time now for sports news on the news at 10 with Ayotunde Balogun.
Yes, indeed. Many thanks, Gimba. Nigerian champions Rangers International have crashed out of this year's CAF Confederation Cup after losing 3-0 to Zesco United of Zambia in the second leg at the Levi Manawasa Stadium in Ndola. The Flying Antelopes are now eliminated from the club competition on a 5-2 aggregate scoreline after the first leg in Enugu a week ago ended in a 2-2 draw. First half braced by forward John Chingandu and Jesse Jackson's solo effort ensured Zesco United progressed to the group stage.
Just makes it happen. What magic! And it is 3-0 to Zesco United. Even the Jackson Were inking his name on the scorers.
In the English Premier League, Harry Kane scored his 20th goal as Tottenham Hotspur crushed Bournemouth 4-0 at White Hart Lane to continue their pursuit of leaders Chelsea. Crystal Palace edged further towards survival as they fought back from 2 goals down against Leicester. The game ended 2-2. Romelu Lukaku scored for a 9th successive home game as Everton defeated Burnley 3-1. Xherdan Shaqiri's superb strike sealed a first league win in 6 games for Stoke City. Fabio Borini scored a 90th minute equaliser as Sunderland drew with West Ham 2-2 to keep hopes of survival alive. Alfie Mawson made a costly error as Swansea were beaten by Watford to remain 2 points adrift of safety. The uncompleted multi-purpose indoor sports hall at the UJ Swena Stadium in Calabar, Cross River State has collapsed. The structure is one of the facilities that has been publicized to host the long-awaited National Sports Festival. The project was worth 2.2 billion naira when it was awarded. Chairman of the State Sports Commission, Mr. Orok Duke, has blamed the contractor for using substandard materials.
2 billion was invested in this project. I mean, that is the situation. It's good for all. I'm paid for up front.
And the contractor just went to walk away?
He walked away, bought a house in Ghana. 3 days ago, I saw back in my space in Accra, and he was posing with 2 women. The project is not under his supervision, so the contractor handling the indoor sports hall is on his own. As I speak to you, he's in Ghana. He refused to return to site, claimed that he had 53 containers in an airport that we should go and clear with about 1.3 billion. And we discovered that these containers were not consigned to Cross River State government. Nobody has been able to determine the actual content of these containers. So the Cross River State government cannot get involved with something that is not consigned to Cross River State government. The money was given for 2 ovals, but incidentally, he started work on 1 over, and they had not been able to complete 1 over. And the assessment by all the contractors, all the consultants, we have the figure that only 20% of the job has been done.
Well, the International Table Tennis Federation, IWTF, has confirmed that 11 countries will vie for 4 slots available for Africa in the 2018 Youth Olympics holding in Argentina. The countries are Nigeria, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Morocco and Libya. Others are Ethiopia, Sierra Leone, Congo-Brazzaville, Congo DR and Madagascar. The qualifiers for the Youth Olympics will hold tomorrow at the El Menzar Stadium in Tunis, Tunisia. Meanwhile, Egypt's duo of Yusuf Abdelaziz and Marwa Al-Odabi are top seeds, while Nigeria's Aziz Shulanke and Esther Oribamiche were seeded number 2. The Nigeria Boxing Federation is planning a 1-month campaign exercise for its boxers ahead of the Africa Boxing Championship billed for Congo-Brazzaville from May the 27th to June the 4th. The Africa Boxing Championship will serve as qualifiers for the World Boxing Championship that will take place in Germany in August. The MBF said that the boxers that emerge tops at the National Open trial in February will be called to camp. And that's a wrap in sports news. The news at 10 continues shortly.
At least 45 people have been killed in Syria after a car bomb attack on a convoy of coaches conveying evacuees from government-held towns near Aleppo. The evacuees were mostly Shiite residents of 2 villages from the warring sides waiting to enter the city. They have been outside Aleppo since Friday while the evacuation halted. rebels say that Damascus breached the terms of the deal brokered by the Iran and Qatar parts, accusing the government of trying to encourage more loyalist fighters than agreed. A previous attempt at mutual evacuations failed in December when rebels burnt down coaches due to be sent into the towns. North Korea has held a huge parade showcasing its military might in Pyongyang. The reclusive state also warned the U.S. not to take provocative actions in the region, saying that it is ready to hit back with nuclear attacks. The comments come as North Korea marks its 105th anniversary of the birth of its founding president, Kim Il-sung.
Cheering crowds, thousands of soldiers, and a lot of very large weapons on display. It's North Korea's Day of the Sun, which was celebrated with a massive military parade closely watched by Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un. It's the 105th anniversary of the birth of his grandfather, Kim Il-sung, the founder of the North Korean state, and it comes at a time of high tension. The huge national celebration is nothing if not a show of force from the north. South Korea says it believes rockets on display at the parade are a new kind of intercontinental ballistic missile. International fears have been mounting over whether Pyongyang could use the event as a backdrop for a sixth nuclear test at a time when it's been ramping up development of major weapons. Adding to the hostility against Washington and its allies, a U.S. naval fleet is currently speeding towards Korean peninsula, fresh off the back of last week's deadly U.S. strike on a Syrian airbase and the dropping of the so-called mother of all bombs in Afghanistan on Thursday. The escalating tension sparked some typically vicious words from the North Koreans, who promised to respond to the all-out war with an all-out war and to nuclear war with their own brand of nuclear strike warfare.
Afghan officials say that at least 90 militants from the Islamic State IS group were killed by a huge bomb dropped by US in northern Afghanistan. The most powerful non-nuclear bomb used by the US in combat was dropped in an IS base in Nangarhar province. US officials say that a network of tunnels and caves were destroyed on Thursday evening. Known as the mother of all bombs, the device was dropped on Thursday evening by an MC-130 transporter plane falling in Nangarhar's Achin district. It was the first time the bomb, one of only 15 ever built, had been used in combat. And the main news again. President Muhammadu Buhari has asked Nigerians to remain faithful and hopeful of seeing a new nation as his administration strives to revamp the economy and puts to end the menace of terror in the land. The president said this in a message to felicitate with Christians on Easter. And that's how it's been on the news at 10 tonight. I want to thank you so much indeed for being a part of it. I'm Gimba Umar. On behalf of everyone here, have a splendid night rest. Good night.